Walking home in the morning light. You're the one thing running through my mind. Could this be the start of something good? 'Cause all I know is that it feels right. You live once and I don't wanna think twice. Could this be the start of something good? 'Cause I believe we were made for more than this.
Good morning, everyone. Looks like I'm having trouble with the camera. Give me just a second. Silly thing. Nope, that's not the right camera. There we go. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday morning to you. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend so far, and I hope the weather is better by you than it is here by me. I'm in Northern Illinois, a southwest suburb of Chicago, and y'all, winter has arrived. It is a little bit chilly here. It's been a high in the low 20s and a low in the single digits and teens. So it's been just a little bit chilly for sure, but that's okay. You know, I love the seasons. I love when winter shows up. My body doesn't like it so much, but that's okay. I love that the seasons change here, so we're enjoying it. I think I read an article that the winter solstice has happened, like maybe yesterday or the day before. So that means winter is officially here by way of the calendar as well as by way of the temperature. That was the shortest sunlight day of the year, and so now the days will slowly, progressively be getting longer. So that's exciting to hear as well. Thank you again to Mama Joyce and Sherlock Cheryl for joining us yesterday for our After Dark edition. It was a bit of an impromptu one. It is not what we had planned on doing initially, but that's okay because it actually turned out to be better than we expected. We were able to finish our Tree of Life quilts and have a lot of fun, and if you guys were able to watch, then you know that I actually had to leave my studio here and go over to their house and help them real quick and then come back, so that was a little bit of fun. So I actually got to watch the replay of that yesterday, so that was pretty fun to hear what you guys were chatting about while I was there, and surprisingly enough, it really doesn't take me long to get from there to here, so that's really cool. But thank you to everybody that joined us yesterday. We had a great time. We were able to finish our Tree of Life quilts. They look gorgeous. I have to wash the green one. I've already washed the pink one. I showed you guys that one yesterday, and then Sherlock Cheryl was able to bring her gray one home yesterday as well, so that was really exciting. Just a reminder to everyone, if you're interested, we do have some merch available for the channel. If you do !merch in chat, you can get one of these really cool coffee mugs. We also have some water bottles as well, some t-shirts, tank tops. Mama Joyce and Sherlock Cheryl bought the sweatshirts, and they swear by them. They said they're the most comfortable sweatshirts that they own, so I'm really excited and really happy to hear that. So if that's something you're interested in, obviously I don't think we would get it in time for Christmas anymore, but it's definitely something to think about. And every purchase has a little bit of a donation that goes back to the channel to help fund new projects and new things like that. Also, I want to give a very, very special shout out to one of our brand new Thumbelina members, Patricia. Thank you so much for joining our Thumbelina Club. I really appreciate that. I did extend the deadline last week and told everybody that if you got in by December, you would still be part of the Scrapbusters Club. So welcome, Patricia. You will be part of the Scrapbusters Club. Make sure you email me with your mailing address, and I'm hoping to get those boxes out here in the next couple of days. So you still have one more live stream? Let me check the calendar real quick. Yes, you still have one more live stream to be eligible for the Scrapbusters Club. That would be either this weekend or next weekend. You do need to be a member of the channel in order to join. Normally I require 3 months, but this time I'm kind of being generous and I'm trying to get rid of some of my scraps. So I will be mailing those out probably next week. It'll be right either the first week of the year or the last week of the year. So thank you again for joining. Welcome to the club. I hope you enjoy it. I am planning to do a lot more members only things next year. The members thing is still kind of new to me, but I do plan on doing more stuff again next year. So we'll have to wait, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that. But every penny that you guys send into the channel goes right back into the channel and stays here to fund new projects. And we got a lot of really, really fun ones coming up next year. Not nearly as many next year as this year. This year we had a lot of really easy, simple, quick and easy ones. So next year they're going to be a little bit more drawn out and a little more time consuming, but I think they're going to be just as much fun. So I'm really excited for that. All right, hang on. I got to take a sip of my drink here. Yum. All right, so let me go ahead and hop into chat and say hello to everybody there, and then we're going to tell you a little bit more about the project that we're working on today. I want to apologize in advance because the thumbnail is a little bit misleading. I actually thought we were further along on this project than we are, so when I pulled it out yesterday to start work to set it up for today, I realized that we're not nearly as far along as I thought. So it says we're going to be assembling our table runner today, but we're still going to be putting the blocks together. In fact, I have the blocks here laid out on my table. You guys can't really see them very well. But we only have about 5 blocks that we have made. The rest of them are still stacked up here. So we'll go through that a little bit more in detail here in a second. But first, let me go ahead and pop into chat and say hello to everybody there. I know Linda Denton, she was one of the first people in chat this morning. So welcome, Linda. Thank you so much for joining me today, for joining us, and for Merry Christmas to you. I hope everything is well with you. She says, good morning. That was a fun last night. Yes, I always have a great time on our Saturday, our After Dark edition. So I'm glad to hear that you do as well. Brad46, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Brenda, hello, good morning. Judy, good morning to you as well. Susan, you're out. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Patricia, the newest member of our Thumbelina program. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here for that. Kathy, good morning. Thanks so much for being here. She says, good morning, Danny. Good morning. Let's see. Streamlabs says good morning as well. Chloe, good morning. She says hello all. Susan says, as soon as I'm finished with my coffee, we'll be getting dressed and then settle in to watch and sew binding on the last Christmas present. Well, Susan, that is awesome. I really hope you're able to accomplish that and finish that goal before the end of, before the time runs out. So good luck. Good morning, Judy. Thanks so much for being here. Welcome back to the channel. We really appreciate you being here. Just checking to see. Hi, Carrie Lynn. Good morning, Carrie Lynn. Sent me a text. She sent me a message on Facebook to let me know that she was finally able to get her last package from me. I had sent her some stuff for her. I think it was her Thimbles redemptions or something. But the post office had been on strike, so she was finally able to get that. So I'm really excited about that. Can't wait to see what she makes with that. So good morning to you, Carrie. I hope you're well. Patty, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So great to see you also. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Lucas is in the house. Morning, bud. Hope you're happy. Hope you're having a good morning. Just a heads up, Taylor just left a little while ago. She's headed towards you. She's spending the day and the evening with Tony and Lucas in their new apartment, so that's going to be fun. So Lucas is going to have 2 pests today instead of just 1. So maybe you need to figure out a way to, run some errands or something. Gladys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for being here today. Happy Sunday morning to you as well. I hope you're doing fantastic. Fern, good morning. Gosh, I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you. I hope you're okay. I hope you're well. Hope everything's going good for you. Good morning. Welcome back. Just kind of scrolling through here, guys. Give me just a second. I just want to make sure that I caught on to everybody. I feel like I missed somebody because my screen just kind of went wonky there for a second. So if I did miss you and I didn't say hello to you in chat, please say hello again one more time for me. Make sure you tag me. You can do that the @ symbol with my name. You do an A, the circle around it, and then you type in "So Not an Expert" with the correct amount of spaces, and it will actually highlight it on the screen for me, so then that way I don't miss it. But thank you very much for that. Good morning again, everyone. Welcome back. Another sip of my coffee here. Hang on. Lucas says, yes, I will, and the other pest has made sure all the errands are already done before Taylor arrives. LOL. So in other words, what you're saying is she's made sure that there's no excuses, that you can't go anywhere. Good morning, Mr. Wizard. I didn't see you pop in there, but good morning. Oh, there you are. Good morning, Mr. Wizard. Good morning, Mr. Wizard. He's just down the hallway. But good morning. Thanks for joining us. All right, so we are going to get started with today's project. So the thumbnail for this project says it's a poinsettia table runner, which is kind of true. Unfortunately, the pattern is not of a poinsettia. It's just the fabric that is poinsettia-based fabrics. So we started this project last year. It was a cupcake recipe project that we'd started last year. We got all the pieces sewn together, but then I put it away and I never took it back out. So I have all the pieces sewn up and ready to go. We just need to start putting the blocks together. We had put about 5 or 6 blocks together already, but we're going to need to put some more together. So I've got some of them laid out here on the table. You guys can kind of see them a little bit on the camera. But we've got ones that look like this. And we've got ones that look like this. And then we got ones that look like this. And so the idea is just to try and make an even amount of pieces, and then once all the pieces are put together, then we're going to go ahead and sew them up into a table runner. Now, obviously, that is not going to happen today. These things, the paper piecing takes a little bit longer than normal to put together, and so we're probably only going to get a handful of blocks done today. But that's okay. I thought we'll put a couple more blocks together, we'll throw it back in the bag, we'll bring it back out later on, and we'll do it some more later. So, anyway, Patricia says, that's pretty. Well, it is pretty. I do like the fabrics. I wish we were a little bit further along than we are. So we're going to start on that today. So if you guys have never done a cake recipe project before, I'm sure most of you have, but if you haven't, they're basically a beginner friendly paper piecing project. So if you've never done paper piecing before, you want to try and learn how to do it, a cake recipe is a great way to start that. I am not an expert at many things, hence the name of the channel, but I am not very good at paper piecing, and so the cake recipes have been a great way for me to kind of learn the process and understand what's happening. These are really simple. You can pick these up just about anywhere. Here's this one. This one is cake recipe number 1, so it makes these 3 blocks down here at the bottom. And so basically, you have these pieces here that are pre-drawn on and marked out for you. And so you go ahead and you take 2 charm squares, right sides together and to the back, and then you sew up the lines as we've gotten here. So you sew on the sewing lines and then you cut on the cutting lines. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. And 2 sheets of paper, 2 assemblies, I guess, will make 1 block. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I like to do things kind of scrappy and random. So I'm just going to grab from the pile. I'm not really going to pay too much attention to what the colors are. I think when I put these together, I kind of randomized them as it was. I didn't really keep them in any kind of order. So I'm just going to grab them. Fern, congratulations on redeeming a fat quarter. That's great. Those are going to be going out here soon. So thank you for that. I'll make sure to get that to you. Trying to think if I have any Christmas themed fat quarters. I might. If I have any, I'll throw some in there. I'm not sure if I do. Maybe some winter ones. We'll have to wait and see. But I have a ton of fat quarters, and I'm always giving them away. So thank you for that. Congratulations on being able to redeem that. Good morning, Terry. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for being here today. I really appreciate you being here. She popped in to say hello. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on this. The first thing we need to do, well, obviously, was sew all the pieces, which we've done already. So I'm going to keep this here as my cheat sheet. Turn my iron on because I'm going to need that. Oh, before we get too far into things, Mr. Wizard put my new chair together today. Wasn't that nice of him? It's so nice of him. Hi, Rita. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. He put my new chair together, so I'm giving it out. It's first test drive, and so far, I love it. I absolutely love it. I bought this one from a warehouse company, Uline. You guys are probably familiar with it, but I bought it from Uline. I didn't buy it from an office supply store. I didn't buy it from online. I actually bought it from Uline because they had a nice, this one's a Big and Tall is the name of this brand, and I really liked it because it has a nice wide bottom on it because I got a wide bottom, so I wanted something with a nice wide bottom on it, and it still has the handles like I like, which is nice. And so I'm giving it a test drive, and Mr. Wizard's going to give it a test drive later and decide if he likes it or not, and we might get him one as well. So yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the only thing I forgot to grab was a ruler, so let me grab that real quick. There we go. This one should be big enough. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is grab 2 of our sheets, and we're going to go ahead and cut them up real quick. I'm going to cut up each one individually just to make sure. So there's a dash line that you sew on, and then there's a solid line that you cut on. So we're going to go ahead and cut on the line. So I've got 2 pieces there. Cut the edges. Now with these paper piecing projects, you do end up with a little bit more scrap than you would normally because you got all these edges that you got to cut off and things like that. But you know, with a charm square pack or even the layer cake one, because I've done a layer cake one before as well, they usually aren't too bad. So let me go ahead and trim up the edges first because it's going to be easier to trim them with the longer cut pieces than the shorter cut pieces. There we go. And then trim up this edge here. And now go ahead and cut up our pieces individually. So we've got one line here in the middle. Morning, Joyce. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Has everyone finished their Christmas shopping? Is everybody ready for the Christmas holiday? Have you done all your grocery shopping? If you're going to be one of the ones cooking. Mr. Wizard and I have finished all of our Christmas shopping. We have done all of our wrapping, so we are ready to go. So now let's go ahead and cut up that other one. So, long line first. One. Oh, the other thing I forgot to do this morning, I'm so unprepared. This morning I forgot to switch up my thread. I still have the dark green thread in there from yesterday, so we'll need to switch that out real quick for some black thread. We can do that real fast. Swap the edges first. There we go. This is a fairly new blade. I did a bunch of cutting and stuff to prep the binding pieces yesterday for our binding that we did, so it's a fairly new blade. Hi Dawn, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. The thumbnail for this morning's video is a little misleading. It says we're working on a poinsettia table runner. The poinsettia is actually the fabric type that we're using. The fabric has poinsettias on it. So I do apologize for the misnomer. And I thought that we were a little bit further along in this project than we actually are. So we're not going to be probably assembling anything. We're just going to be putting blocks together today. And I'll bring this project back out probably in January again. Just to kind of get moving on it. Alright, so let's go ahead. Now that we've got our pieces together, we're going to go ahead and pull the paper apart. The paper is so easy to pull apart. I'm going to show you guys. So basically, you just fold it on the sewing line, run your finger over it, run your fingernail over it to kind of give it a nice crease, and then it just kind of breaks apart through the stitches. There we go. And there we go. That's all you do. So we're going to go ahead and pull the paper off real quick on all of these, and then we can start to sew the pieces up together. So paper piecing projects do take a little bit longer than your traditional block pieces because you have to mess with the paper. There's a variety of different things that you can do so that you don't actually have to sew on the paper. But for these cake recipe ones, it's probably, well, I shouldn't say it's probably because I don't really know. I feel like maybe it's better to just sew it right on the paper because the paper is pretty good. I mean, it's thick enough that it holds up when you're sewing on it, and it's thin enough that it breaks off pretty easily. Hi Susan, welcome back. Have you seen the beautiful bow tops, FPP? I have not seen that one yet. I've heard that somebody was making it. Gosh, who was making it? Remind me again. I remember seeing a thumbnail for it on the channel on my subscriber list, but I don't remember who it was that was making it. One of these next year, one of the things I'd like to get into a little bit more is FPP projects. Someday I will actually get to a point where I do a full-size project, but I'm slightly intimidated by it, if I'm being honest. But no, I haven't seen it being put together, but I did see that somebody was working on it. I just don't remember who now. Terry says she may have to run. Her bestie was taken to the hospital this morning. Oh no, Terry, I am so sorry to hear that. Gosh, I hope everything goes okay. Yeah, if you need to take off, that is 100% okay. 100%. Family is way more... a bestie is family as far as I'm concerned. But family is way more important than this channel. So we'll just pull the paper apart real quick, and then we'll go ahead and put this block together. You can kind of see what the blocks look like here on the table. I might be able to hang them up behind me. They're kind of small, so I'm not really sure that you guys can really see them. And they're kind of blend in back here. Yeah, they won't do too well back there. So we'll just leave them up here. Patty says she has the bow pattern and she's hoping to do it next year. Terry, I completely understand. 100%. She says, if I disappear, you know why. No, 100%. 100%. We completely get it. You know, it's rare in life that you're able to find another person that you're able to connect with to that, you know, to that level of a best friend like that. And so, I mean, I'd be the same way. If my best friend needed me for anything, I'd be dropping everything to do everything I could to be there for her. So 100%. We completely understand. And hopefully it's nothing too serious this close to the holiday. Yeah. Patience and waiting are the two of the hardest things when the unknown is there, but it sounds like she's where she needs to be and she's with the people she needs to be with at this particular moment. So there's some relief there. A little bit of encouragement there. We're almost done here. We got one more piece to pull apart and then we're going to put this block together. I want to turn the zoom camera on so you guys can see, but the coloring on that zoom camera is just terrible. So I also don't want it to be a distraction. Terry says, what are these patterns called? These are called cake recipe patterns. I'll show it to you again, Terry, in just a second here. Let me just pull this piece off. It is called a cake recipe pattern. They have a variety of different ones to choose from. But they're a great beginner option for somebody who wants to learn how to paper piece. So here's what it is. It's called, this one's a cupcake recipe because it's for 5.5-inch squares. But they have a cake recipe, which is layer cakes. And I think I have one here. Well, I have one. I just don't know where I put it at the moment. But they're for layer cakes. They call that one the cake recipe. And then I think there's even one for the mini charms, if I remember. The name of the company is called Miss Rosie's Quilt Company. Excuse me. This one is cupcake recipe number 1. We have done some other cupcake recipe one before as well, but that's the name of this one. So it's Miss Rosie's Quilt Company. It's a cupcake mix recipe cards made for paper piecing, to learn how to paper piece. So we're going to go ahead and open these up now. And I'm going to fold them out. And I do have my iron hot. I'm folding them all towards my background fabric because my background fabric is a really dark fabric. So I'm folding them all towards my background fabric. This one is Miss Rosie's Quilt Company by Moda. I know there's a It's So Emma as well. I know from Missouri, not Missouri Star Quilt Company, from Fat Quarter Shop. That's the Miss Emma. That one is also one that you can use. I have done that one as well before. But this one is by Moda. This one, there's a bunch of them, and this one is called Cake Recipe number 1. So this one makes 3 different types of blocks. I also have another one that we've made once before. I don't remember. I think it was number 3. There's quite a few of them. Thank you, Terry, for throwing that link up there. Thank you very much. Susan says, my Bessie is currently in rehab facility to gain strength after she fell and injured her hip and back. I wish I was closer so I could visit. Been calling her almost daily. Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm glad to hear that she's on the mend, though. That's always good to hear. Susan says it's chilly here in Florida. Well, Susan, define chilly. Because right now, here in northern Illinois, it is currently 27 degrees outside. So define chilly in Florida. Brenda says she's got to go shopping for a last-minute Christmas gift. Well, I understand that. I'm still waiting for one of my gifts from Amazon to show up. I was just arguing with them this morning about it. Now they're saying that it'll be here tomorrow. $62 for a high today. Yeah, she says 62 is chilly for Florida. Shut up. Just kidding. Yeah. It's 22 here. It's 22 here. Alright, so I'm opening these up and I'm ironing them flat so they'll lay nice for us before we start to sew them. We do need to trim off all the dog ears. So as you can see, this is a pretty slow process with these. It takes a little bit of work to get them done. And I believe that's kind of why I put it to the side. Because I got a little frustrated with it. Lorraine says the real feel here this morning was -6. It's a little, that's chilly. That's chilly. Yeah, Susan, no, I completely understand. I'm just giving you a little bit of grief about it. But yeah, when you're used to it being 80 degrees outside, 60 I'm sure can feel very chilly. Yeah, for us here, 60 degrees is beautiful weather. It's perfect. For us, it's a little bit of a different story, that's for sure. Alright, so now I've gone ahead and got these all ironed up. So we're going to trim them real quick. We're going to trim off all the dog ears. This won't take but just a couple minutes. But you can see making these blocks is a little bit of a slow process. I actually like working on these when I'm kind of in my quilting room and I don't really have much else to do, or I don't really know what I feel like working on and I just want to kind of keep myself busy. That's usually when I like to work on these projects because they are kind of, you know, there's a lot of little pieces, a lot of little steps, a lot of little pieces that need to be done. You have to prep the pieces a little bit before you can actually put the blocks together. The blocks go together fairly quickly. It's just getting everything prepped and ready to go for it. Susan says I'm in sweats right now because she's chilly. Yeah, I can imagine. And I'm over here with my heater on. 54 degrees is shorts weather. 15 degrees right now. There you go. Yeah, 54 degrees is definitely still shorts weather. In fact, it's supposed to get up into the 50s for Christmas this year, which just seems so silly to me. I think Mr. Wizard said 49 for Christmas, which is just ridiculous. You can't even keep soda outside. Keep cold. You know, we usually keep our bottles of wine and our soda outside to keep cold, and we're not going to be able to do that this time. We might actually have to buy ice for Christmas. Which is silly. Mama Joyce does all the hosting for the holidays. Her home is set up for that. Our house is too small, otherwise I would love to do that here. But our home is just too small for that. Mama Joyce does all the hosting at her house, but we always go over to help. As you guys know from yesterday's video, I am only 3/4 of a mile away from her. It's like close enough that if she needed me or I needed her, we're close enough to each other that we can, you know, quick get there, but we're far enough away that we're not like intruding on each other's space, if that makes any sense. She's just down the road, a couple of turns. Her neighborhood actually backs up to mine. It's just, you know, a little further away. Almost 2 more pieces to trim up the dog ears on real quick, and then we can actually get started on putting these together. We do still need to change out the thread on the machine because I forgot to do that this morning. I try to do that kind of stuff off camera, so we're not wasting time with that, but I guess I forgot. So far, I'm loving this new chair. It's really comfortable. My back is really liking it so far. All right, let me just grab all these little pieces here. These little teeny tiny corners. It's almost like confetti. It's like fabric confetti. Brenda says, pretty tree. Oh, thank you, Brenda. That's very kind of you to say. It's one of those tinsel trees from Amazon. It's a little pop-up tinsel tree. I actually really liked it. I saw it on Instagram, I think. And I thought, oh, that could be really fun in the studio. And it's really teeny tiny. So it doesn't take up a lot of floor space because I don't have a whole lot of floor space to work with in here. But it still allows it to be a little festive. So I'm glad you enjoy it. If the sparkly lights are too much for anyone, if they're bothering you, please let me know. I'm happy to turn it off. I like the sparkly lights, but at the same time, I also don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So if they are bothering you, please let me know. Susan says she's new to FPP. Sandra and Laura taught me in May and it was a lot of fun. I am extremely new to it. This is basically the extent of my FPP. As these cake recipes. Anything more than that and I'm kind of out of my league. But I would like to learn more because I feel like there's a lot that you can do with them. So I would like to learn more. Put that there for now. That one's actually can get put away. Just switching out my thread here, folks. Give me just a second. We were working with some dark green thread yesterday, which probably would have been okay for this, but I will use my black. Just takes a second. Susan says she wants to do the elephant. Susan, I want to do the car. I really want to do from Legit Kits. You're probably talking about Legit Kits. From Legit Kits, I would like to do the car, but I am extremely intimidated by it. You know, I would like I would actually kind of was thinking of doing something a little bit smaller and maybe less complicated to start out with. So if any of you out there are FPP people and you are aware of, oh, the Alonda Craft Elephant. Oh, okay. If any of you are aware of a beginner-friendly FPP project, please email me some details on it. I'd like to learn more about it. I'd like to try and figure out if it's something that we could maybe do. All right, so we are finally at a point where we can start sewing, which is exciting. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. There are 3 different patterns here to choose from. So I've got all 3 made, and I'm trying to make even amounts. So I have 2 of one, so we're definitely not going to make that one. So let's just go ahead and grab the next one in line, which is this one here for the green. And we're going to go ahead and make that one. Ow, ooh, that hurt. So basically, we take one of these. Let me turn this zoom camera on. You know what? So you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. Let me see if I can turn that on. You'll have to deal with the colors of it, but Now it's not even going to connect up. For gosh sakes. Hang on. What is going on here? Hang on. It's being dumb this morning. Alright, maybe we won't be using the Zoom cam today. Did it come unplugged? It was just working a second ago, and I think it disconnected somehow. Alright, well then... Oh, wait. That's weird. What is it doing? Odd. Very, very odd. It's doing something weird. I don't understand what's happening. Hang on. So odd. Odd. Very odd. Weird things are happening here today. Okay, there's the Zoom cam. Lighting is a little off. Sorry about that. Shadows are weird, but it is what it is. So, okay, so this is the pattern that we're going to be making. You guys can kind of see it there. That's what we're going to be making. So let's go ahead and put that one together. So I've got the directions here. So we have to take one big square this way. And one big square this way. Like that. Then we've got to take the little squares. Here. And here. Take this one that way. Go. Just kind of building it up here. Let's see what we got going on here. This one there. And then that one there. Excuse me, and that one there. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. Obviously, the pieces need to come together a little bit better with our seam allowances. But that's kind of what we're making there. So first we'll put this block together, then we'll put this block together, and then everything should assemble up together. So let's go ahead and get that started. These are really tiny pieces. I'm not used to working with such tiny pieces, so hopefully it doesn't give me too much trouble. We'll have to see how it goes. We see it, but is it in the frame? I think I fixed it now. Love those colors, Danny. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is a charm square pack from a couple of years ago. I'm not sure I know the name of it, so I do apologize for that. I don't think I kept it. But it's just a little charm square pack. And some solid black fabric. If I had to do this again, I probably wouldn't have used solid black. I probably would have tried to have used a two-tone black. Because I feel like the solid black is just a little bit harsh of a contrast to the other colors. So I think that's kind of one of the reasons why I kind of stopped making it, because it was just a bit much for me. But yeah. Terry says it's good. Oh, well, good. I'm glad. I assume you're talking about the frame thing now. Yeah. All right. So there's two pieces there. Two pieces here. Something's wrong with my neck. All right. So I'm going to push that down. And then push this one down. Let's see. That. Susan says, hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas. So thank you very much, Susan, for that. I hope you do as well. We'll be back next week, Sunday, after Christmas, so everybody can tell us all about what they did and if Santa brought them anything nice. Well, iron went off, but it's still hot, so that's good. So we're just going to press these pieces. I press after I put these pieces together so that everything lays nice and flat for me. It just kind of makes my life a little bit easier. And anything I can do to make life a little easier, I work with. Kathy's also wishing everyone a Merry Christmas as well. The Legit Kit block pattern. Oh, thank you for that, Terry. I didn't see you pop that up there. I appreciate that. I would like to learn how to do like a beginner-friendly Legit Kit before I do anything too complicated, because I'm just terrified that I'm going to spend that kind of money, because they're not cheap. Like, they're very expensive, especially if you buy the kit with the fabric. They're very expensive, and so I get a little anxious about spending that kind of money on something that it turns out I will mess up and not be able to put back together, kind of thing. Go. These pieces are so tiny. My machine is not used to these teeny tiny pieces. Go. Oh, it's a free block to try. I'm not spending that money, lol. Yeah, I have to agree with you. Like, I'm okay with spending it if it turns out to be a block that's really pretty and I really like. But I like the idea of having a block to try. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Trying to figure this out here. Usually you can like flip them around, but I don't know if that's gonna work in this case. So try to do a pinwheel here. See if I can get it to work. I don't think it's gonna work. There we go. 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 Trying to get some of that bulk in the corner to lay a little bit flatter, so I'm gonna pinwheel that. See if I can get it to stay down. Yeah, they're really expensive. Like, they're a few $100s. Yeah. There's my pinwheeled corner there. You can kind of see it a little bit right there. Yeah, they're not cheap for sure. I'm sure if you bought just the pattern by itself and then the fabric separately, that it might be a little less expensive. I'm not sure. But I will say that their patterns are very unique. I have not seen any of them, any others like them. I know that there are a bunch of FPP patterns out there. And I'd really like to learn how to do them a little bit better. These cake recipe patterns work really well as a beginner-friendly option for you to kind of learn about the process and how it all works. I found, yeah, I have to agree with you. My pockets are not that deep either. Maybe someday. Someday I would like to be able to do a full-size paper piecing project. This one piece came up. Yeah, the patterns are really, especially just for a pattern, like just for the pattern, and then you have to do all the other stuff on top of it. Yeah, I fully agree with you there. All right, so now we've got the blocks there. So now we're going to go ahead and assemble these up together. So I'm just going to go row by row. So I'm going to take this one and assemble it up to that one. And then take this one and assemble it up to that one. All right, we are almost there. Press these towards the bigger pieces. That way there's a little bit less bulk. Looks like I'm a little off, but that's all right. But you can see these blocks do not go together very quickly. That's why I say if you're sitting in your quilting room and you're kind of just looking for something to do, maybe you're watching a movie in your quilting room, or you're watching your favorite YouTube content creator and you're looking for something kind of fun to do but nothing too crazy and intricate, these are a great way to kind of learn how to do the FPP and put them all together at the same time. So we have that one there, we have this one here like that. Bulky right there. Come on, you can do it. Just talking to my machine, sweet talking it. You can do it, you can do it. I believe in you. The only thing that I dislike about working with charm squares is they are so tiny. Like, I know that there are smaller pieces out there than this, but they're just so tiny. Alright. There we go. We have officially gotten our block together. Just try to convince this to go down. Patty says, I can't justify spending that kind of money on a pattern. It's more than my monthly rent. I'm sorry, landlord. I don't have rent this month because I bought a pattern. LOL. I can understand that. 100%. Which is one of the reasons why I don't have one yet. One of the exact reasons why I do not have one of them yet. Because I would love, love, love to make that car. I think that Mr. Wizard would love that. He's big into cars. Obviously, he makes model cars in his spare time. So he loves model cars, and I just feel like that would be an awesome addition to his his quilting space. Listen to me. To his workspace when he officially moves in. He's partially moved into his space now, but when he officially moves in. But there you go, guys. There's our finished block. The colors on the camera are just terrible, and I'm sorry for that. This is a gold here. It's like a gold leaf. And then this is a red with the gold leaf as well. So there you go. Maybe that's a little bit better. You guys can kind of see that a little bit better. So there you go. So there's one of our patterns. That's this one. So now we're going to start over again and make 2 more. Make another one. Now we're going to be making this one here. You can. It's kind of hard to see it a little bit here, but there's like this crown piece here. You can kind of see it there a little bit. So that's what we're going to be making next. So I'm going to go ahead and slice up 2 more sheets and do exactly the same process that we did before. So here's our sheets so you guys can kind of see. Let me bring this camera down a little bit. There. So you can kind of see that we've already sewn on our line. You can see our lines. And then we're going to cut on these solid lines here that are in between. Terry says, that is so pretty. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, for this cake recipe, I am following all 3 patterns. I'm doing all 3 evenly. You don't have to. Like, you could do kind of whatever you wanted to do here. You could just make 1 type of the blocks with all the paper. You could do, you know, 2 of the blocks. You could do, like I'm doing, all 3 of the blocks. I mean, it's completely up to you. It's up to your personality, your preferences. There we go. There's that one. So that's our first block there. Now we've got this one here. This one's got some small pieces on the edges that we want to trim up. So I'm just going to trim those up first. Oh, I'm a little off camera there. Sorry. Let's see if I can tip that. It's like all kinds of tilted. Sorry about that, guys. Like, I'm trying, like, not to make it. The lines are just throwing everybody off, I'm sure. Patty Terry wants to know how the puppy is doing. Max the puppy. Okay, so there's those pieces there. We need to cut up 1 more sheet and then pull the paper off. Excuse me. There we go. Grab another sheet. So we're going to be doing 2 of these. 2 sheets per block. And each book of sheets makes 44 sheets or 22 blocks. Patty, or Terry, I saw your video about the quilt frame. I'm so excited to watch you do that. I mean, that, right now I don't have the table space for something like that, but that's definitely something that I want to consider looking into a little bit more. You know, I'm constantly thinking about updating my space and trying to, like, come up with different table options and different desks and things like that. So, I'm thinking that if I had, like, a true quilting table, like a 101, like this with mine, but like I had more space on the back half, that would be nice if I could set that up there, that frame up here, and work with it there. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you check out Terry's channel. She just bought a smaller quilting frame, and it's very nice for small spaces. I think it's going to work out really well for her, and I'm kind of excited to watch her learn how to use it and grow with it. So make sure you check out her channel. Terry, if you wouldn't mind throwing up the link for your channel up there for me, so that anybody that's interested can follow along with her. I saw your video the other day, and I think you posted just another one here recently, maybe. I haven't checked in the last day or two. But yeah, I'm really excited about the frame that you purchased. She's got one of her antique sewing machines on it, which is so cool. Thank you. The Grace Mini Quilting Frame. It does need very little space. Yeah, but unfortunately this is the only amount of table space I have right now. I'm still working on trying to lay out my new space here. I've been seriously considering buying a new cabinet. It's one of those things where, you know, they're really expensive. Even a used one is really expensive. And so I just kind of keep hemming and hawing about it, and I don't really know what I want to do yet. And I got plenty of time to figure it out, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, all of our pieces are now cut, so let me show you guys how to pull this paper off. It's super easy to do. So here's our stitching line. There's our stitching line, right? So we're going to take the big piece and we're going to fold it down onto the stitching line. And I'm going to use my thumbnail to kind of make a really nice hard crease along that stitching line. And basically that's going to cut the fabric there. So then when I open it back up, I just tear it apart like this on the stitching line, and it just peels right off. Like, super easy and simple to do. Now, when you're sewing up your paper, and I've told you guys this before when I've done it, but when you're sewing on your paper, you're going to want to turn your stitch length down. I think I had mine at like a 1.4 or 1.2. It was really tight stitches, and that's so that it makes this perforation really easily. You do end up going through a little bit more thread than you would normally do, but it makes it so this paper just peels right off super easily. Thank you, Terry, for throwing your link up there. Patty, that's funny. Patty says her puppy is doing great. She says she thinks she needs to get him a dog bed, though, because he thinks the bed is his and he won't move. She says 15 pounds of dog weight in the middle of the night is not fun. So I'm just going to fold this one right on that stitching line. There we go. Streamlabs is reminding everybody to like and subscribe. Thank you, Streamlabs, for that reminder. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that like button for me. It really does help out the channel a lot. And if you like what you're watching and you haven't already, please also consider subscribing. We do have our goal here of... Ooh, that was really high. Our goal of 750 by the end of the year. Obviously, I don't think we're going to make that, and that's okay. We'll just reset the goal for next year. There we go. Let me go ahead and tear these up real quick. The big bed. We had a 50-pound dog. She passed away a few years ago. But we had a 50-pound dog. She was a Shepherd Collie mix. One of the best dogs ever. But she was a Shepherd Collie mix. And she wouldn't go in the bed with us when we'd go to sleep. Because she knew she wasn't supposed to be in the bed with us. Because, you know, 2 adults and a 50-pound dog in a queen-size bed doesn't really fit. No, it doesn't really fit. And so she wasn't allowed to get up in the bed with us when we go to sleep. So she would wait until after we were asleep, and then she'd hop into the bed with us. And so we're forever waking up in the middle of the night trying to move, and she's somewhere, and we'd have to kick her off the bed. And we'd kick her off the bed, she'd wait for us to fall asleep, but then she'd hop back up there. Eventually, she just trained us that she got the spot at the end of the bed where our feet were. So eventually she just trained us. Oh, it's on his arthritis and is on meds. Mr. Wizard bought. So the girls, when the girls when Taylor would come home to visit, when Tony was still living at home, when Taylor would come home to visit, we had an air mattress that we would set up in here for Taylor to sleep on. And our bigger dog, Addison, really liked the air mattress. Like, every time Taylor would pull out the air mattress, she was on top of it. So Mr. Wizard bought her a dog air mattress for the living room. It's not very big. It's only like this thick. And it's just the size of a normal dog bed. So we bought that for her thinking, oh, she'll love this. She has yet to lay on it. She will not lay on it. Like, I don't know if it's got a different scent in it. Like, Mr. Wizard has even, like, laid on it and rolled over on it and tried to, like, you know, put his own scent on it. We have tried everything. We've covered it in a sheet. We've covered it. We've tried everything. And she will not lay on this dog bed. Like, this air mattress dog bed. She will lay on the side of it and use it as a pillow, which is really weird. But she will not lay on the dog bed. Like, it's a little frustrating. Like, it's a little frustrating. I had a Adobe Shepherd mix. Oh, it's a Doberman Shepherd mix. Yeah, gotcha. She did the same thing. Waited until we were sleeping and then opened the door and put one paw in at a time. So smart. Sneak. Yes. Yes. Cover it in Taylor's air mattress. We might have to. We might have to make Taylor lay in it one night just to, you know, get her scent on it or something. But yeah, she'll lay up against it and use it as like a pillow, but she will not like get on it. Like the big one, we set up the big one, and it's not like it's one of those huge ones either that we have. I mean, it's a camping one, so it's just like it's like this far off the ground. But she loves that one. As soon as we pulled that one out, she gets all excited. This one, no, she don't want anything to do with it. We're like, it's so confusing. So confusing. Okay, so I've got all this scrap here. And now we have to open these up. Press them towards the black fabric. And then trim the dog ears. So as you can see, these blocks do not come together very quickly. But I feel like paper piecing in general just doesn't come together very quickly. I feel like none of it really comes together very quick. Sounds like Mr. Wizard is in the garage, so you might hear him a little bit. Dogs can be such fun. Yeah, they can be. They're just so silly. They're just so silly. Our baby, she's not the smallest one, but she's the baby of the family. Ivy. You guys see her all the time. She's the white with the red. Right now she's got a pink sweater on. She cracks us up. Like, she is just so funny. Like, the things she comes up with. Because she's sneaky. She's really, really sneaky. The other two, not so much. But she is extremely sneaky. If there's something she wants, she's going to find a way to get it. No matter what it is. But yeah, she's a little sneak, that one. And just so funny. It's just so funny how they come up with things. Like, how did you even think to do that? So right now I'm just ironing these pieces open. I am pressing the seams towards that solid black fabric. Then we're going to trim off the dog ears, and then we can put the block together. So they don't get together very quickly. And so I do apologize for that. I thought we were a lot further along with these blocks than we are. So we'll definitely be bringing this back out at another time to work on it again. So I might change the thumbnail on this video because I'm not the kind of person that does, you know, clickbait. I'm just not that kind of person. And I feel a little bit like this. My thumbnail is a little bit of clickbait because the pattern is a poinsettia based, the fabric is a poinsettia based fabric, but the pattern is not. And so I feel like maybe it's a little bit of clickbait. So, and I don't like to do that. So 4 puppies at a time. My goodness, we have 3 here at my house. My mom, this year, you guys know, she started out with 4. And then by October, she was down to only 2. And so now she also has a puppy herself. So now she's back up to 3. It's been a rough year for my mom with regards to her animals. It's been a really rough year. We did have 4 animals at one time. For those of you who were veterans of the channel, you may remember way back when the channel first started, we had a cat, a black cat named Angel, and she would hang out with us. If you watch some of my really early videos, you'll see me having to talk to her every once in a while. She would want to go in and out of the room, so I'd have to keep opening and closing the door for her. She passed away last Thanksgiving, 2 Thanksgivings ago. She passed away. We actually made a block in memory of her that is, well, you guys can kind of see it, but this block right here is in memory of her. And so she was a part of the channel when it started, and so now she stays as a part of the channel in her memory. I made one of those blocks for myself, and then I also made one for Taylor, my daughter Taylor, because it was my daughter Taylor's cat. So she has a finished block at her house as well, that she has got hung up in her bedroom in memory of Angel. Excuse me. Yes, Angel. Mm-hmm. Yep. Angel had, she was in kidney failure. She had been in kidney failure for many, many years. And, you know, she wasn't suffering or anything, so we just kind of let her live out her days. And then she got really bad when Taylor came home for Thanksgiving that year, and ended up passing away. So, but Taylor was really the only one in the house that she liked. She didn't really like anybody else. Alright, so now we're just trimming up the dog ears here. Just trying to do it quickly. I could probably try to stack these and do them more at a time, but I always get worried when I do things like that because I'm afraid I'm going to cut something I shouldn't. So I'll just do them one at a time. One at a time. It's a slow process, but I feel like in some ways it's kind of satisfying. Because you're doing them kind of one at a time and you're looking through. I could probably have cut all of these up and trimmed them all up and then just started putting blocks together on my own. I could probably do that as well. If you wanted to try and speed up the process a little bit. But I don't think any of us is in any real hurry. So... Carrie Quilts, welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for being here. I can't say that I remember seeing your name in chat before. You're probably lurking, and that's perfectly okay. Welcome in. She says, I do cut things that I shouldn't when I stack stuff like that, lol. Yeah, so I do too, because I make a lot of mistakes. So, again, the name of the channel, not an expert for sure. So I tend to just kind of do things one at a time. I take my time. I don't sew very fast. I try really hard not to make mistakes, but it always ends up happening. It always ends up happening that way. Terry says, dog ears. Oh no, I know. They're such a pain sometimes. At least these types of dog ears. You know, the real doggy ears. Like, I'm obsessed with those. I love dogs with little droopy ears. They're so cute. I like to tug on my dog's ears. I tug on them, not real hard. I mean, obviously I'm not trying to hurt them, but when I'm playing with them, I'll grab them and just give them a real gentle tug. Ivy doesn't like it. She doesn't like it when I do that. Susan said she's got to take off. No problem, Susan. She's getting ready to head to church. We appreciate you hanging out with us for as long as you have. You can check the replay when you're done here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a good time at church. Have a very Merry Christmas. We will be back here next Sunday. All right, last one. Okay, so now our pieces are all trimmed up. These dog ears. They're so tiny. It's like fabric confetti. Well, Carrie, I'm glad you mentioned that again, because I've mentioned that to a couple people before. For some reason, YouTube likes to unsubscribe people. I don't know why. I don't know what the reason is behind it. But so I'm always reminding people that if you're watching the channel right now and you're a lurker, especially if you're a lurker, just do me a favor, do yourself a little favor, and just double check and make sure that you are still subscribed, because YouTube likes to do some silly stuff sometimes. It's really kind of annoying. Alright, so the next one we're going to make is this green one here. I know you guys can barely see it on the camera, but we're going to go ahead and put that one together. So we've got this block here. Oops. Got this block here. And this one here. So we're doing that hourglass again. Like that. Sorry if it's kind of like crooked. It's like this camera is making me insane today. Trying to not make it so crooked. Like, that's a little bit better, I guess. For those of you with OCD, these not straight lines are gonna make you insane. I know. I'm sorry. All right. So there's that, and now we've got. Let's see. Trying to that one and that one like that, and then this one and that one like that. All right, and then this one is. Excuse me, that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. So there we go, like that. I know it looks a little wonky right now because it's kind of off camera, but that looks right. All right, so we're gonna make these two squares first, and then we can make the rows together. So let's go ahead and put those together. This piece and that piece. These are actually going to nest up really nice because of the way they're laying. So that works out really nicely. And then these two. But thank you again, Carrie, for finding us again and for resubscribing. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I did have to turn the 1 hour limit on for subscribers because we were getting spammed with trolls. So I had to turn the limit on for it. So I apologize that you had to wait. Hopefully you are understanding of the fact that we had to deal with a bunch of trolls. But welcome back to the channel. Alright, so now we gotta go this way. And then this way. Gotta go this way. this way. Alright, so let me press those up real quick. I like to, you guys know, and I've said it 1,000 times before, but I like to press up after each step to make sure things lay nice and flat for me. Usually I have my clapper out, but it's up there. I like my seams to lay nice and flat for me when I'm sewing them. Lucas was mentioning yesterday, and I kind of missed it, and I'm going to have to ask him about it again. Maybe he's still on watching. But he was mentioning something about a new option that YouTube or Streamlabs offers. And I know I saw him mention it, but I was kind of distracted yesterday, unfortunately, and so I didn't really get a chance to catch it to see what he was talking about. But he looked like he was testing out something. He's always looking for new games and stuff that Streamlabs is offering for you guys to play and hang out with, and something went wonky here. Something went wonky. It bunched up and kind of grabbed at it, so we're gonna just pull that apart real quick. But I saw him mention something, and then I got distracted and forgot to ask him more about it. There we go. Let's try this again. Let's try that again. There we go. Go. Shout out feature. Oh, that'd be nice, Lucas. If we can set that up, that would be fantastic. There's a way to do that. He said that Streamlabs is offering a new service that when you join the chat, if you have your own channel, it gives you a little shout out. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, we'll have to look into how to figure that out. Oh, you have to add everybody's link and name. Okay. Gotcha. Just gonna push this down here. So it sounds like that's something he's looking into. He's trying to figure it out. So thank you for that, Lucas. Trying to pinwheel this. I'm learning how to do this pinwheel thing. If you guys have been watching the States videos, which I have 2 more that I have to post. I just haven't posted them yet. If you guys have been watching my State videos, then you know that Cotton Cuts has been instructing us to pinwheel the centers. And it's not something I've ever done before. So I'm learning how to do it. And when is a good time and when is not a good time to do it. So I'm learning. I love it when I can learn new things. There's one. And their YouTube username. Okay. We'll have to look at that a little bit more. I'm not sure if you're already doing something with it or... Carrie says she just finished a quilt top. Just finished a bunch of complicated pieced quilts, so today I am playing with improv. LOL, like when we were kids and cut construction paper and just glued it together randomly. That sounds fun. That sounds like fun. Alright, so that's what our block is going to look like. It looks a little bit better than it did before. You can kind of start to see the pattern a little bit. You can see the crowns here. And then hourglass there. So now we're going to go ahead and sew these pieces up together. And we're almost done with this block. Looks like we'll have time for probably one more block today. But as you can see, these kind of go together a little slow. They don't go together very quickly, that is for sure. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Ooh, did not like that bulk. There we go. In this case, it probably would have been a better idea for me to press it open. Give myself a little less bulk on here. There we go. You'll post a picture of it to Facebook later. That would be awesome. And thanks for the reminder on that as well, Carrie. For those of you who are on Facebook and would like to join us there, we do have a community running over there. I love the community there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love our community here on YouTube, but I like the community over there because it allows for me to be able to see what you guys are doing. You know, YouTube is very one-way communication. Like, you guys can see everything I'm doing, but I can't really see anything you're doing. Like, we can communicate and chat, but I can't see any of it. So that's why I encourage everybody to go over to Facebook. If you're able, go over there, follow us over there. It's called Danny and the Experts, and follow us over there, and then that way you guys can post pictures of what you're working on, and I get to see them over there. And you guys keep me inspired. Like, you want experts, that's where you go. Like, the experts are over there on that community, and they're here in chat as well. They're not me, for sure. Did you see one of my... Oh, no, you probably can't see with the camera. One of my puppies came in to say hi real quick. She likes to come in and just check to make sure that I'm behaving. So thank you for reminding me of that. So if you guys are interested, the link is up there for Facebook and Instagram. I have to be honest and say we are on Instagram, but I don't do nearly as much on Instagram as I should. I should do more, and I don't. There's this one here. Go. I should try to do more there. A couple of chunks of bulk there that my machine... Oh, somebody... it looks like the heist just happened. Yeah, it looks like Chloe and Judy were just in on the heist. So yeah, sorry Terry, it looks like you missed it. Oh, that's a lot of... That's a big chunk of bulk there. Let's see if I can get it to work. There's a big old chunk of bulk right here, and Just trying to get it to do something here. That's just gonna have to lay the way it does because a big chunk there. It's a big chunk of it right there. We're just gonna kind of press down. Oh, I see. So, I see. Lucas, I see your post now. Well, I appreciate the effort that you're putting into that. I really do. He says he's trying to set it up, but it is time consuming to set up, and that's understandable. So, eventually we'll get to a point where it'll give you a shout out when you join the channel. Which is great. Alright, so here's our finished block. That's what that one looks like. I'm loving these colors. I really like the green stripes. That's really nice. Ta-da! There you go. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Now, the next one is one that we have two of already. But we're going to go ahead and make a third one up of that one. It's very, very similar to the first one that we did. Just the pieces are laid out a little bit differently. So we'll go ahead and get started on that one. Did I miss the heist? Yes, I believe you did. Now, I could probably layer these up and cut them together, but it gives me a lot of anxiety thinking about it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and cut them up individually. We probably have time for one more block. So we'll get that going. And then Mr. Wizard and I have to take off. Because we are going over to my sister-in-law's house, Mr. Wizard's sister's house, for a Christmas party, a family party. So we're gonna do that after today's stream. It's been a little bit since we've seen her. So it'll be good to see her children. And I think one or two of ours are going to be able to make it. The other two are obviously on their way to other places, but a couple of our kids should be able to make it. Oops. Very well. Terry says, if anyone in here has a channel they want shared, put a heart in the chat. So if you have your own channel and you'd like us to share it, because I encourage that type of thing here on my channel, I want you to share as much as possible. So if she says, if you've got a channel and you want us to share your link, put up a heart in chat for us. And we'll get that set up for you. Thank you, Terry, for taking that. Sandra Kay's got her purple heart up there, one of my favorite colors. I know Dawn was here earlier. Maybe she stepped out for a minute. She was here earlier. Kathy was here earlier as well. She must have stepped away. If you have a channel and you'd like us to share your link in chat, please put a heart in chat for my moderators. They're working on a list for us. Get things set up. I like to encourage other content creators on this channel. I know some channels don't, and I don't really understand why, but it is what it is. Their channel, their rules. But I encourage it here on my channel. Now, obviously, if you're going to come on my channel just to encourage your own and not actually participate, that's a little bit different. But we have yet to have that situation. Everybody that has their own channel also participates, so I don't have that problem. it didn't slice all the way through. Hi, Mama Joyce. Somebody said Joyce. Mama Joyce was in here. I don't see Mama Joyce. I see Joyce Hernandez, but I don't see Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce is Joyce Contos. I thought I changed her name on YouTube, but I guess I didn't. I didn't see her popping. Brat46, you've been kind of quiet today. Are you working on something? That's okay. Yeah, she thought Joyce Hernandez was Mama Joyce. I mean, you know, it's probably fair. Alright, let's pull the paper off now. Get these depapered. Carrie says, LOL, I enjoy visiting channels, but I do not have the ambition to create my own. Yeah, I can understand that. And you know what, Carrie? I created my channel as a way to communicate with the other people. I did it to make friends. I didn't do it to make money or even to really have a channel or anything else. I simply did it to make friends in the hobby. So there's nothing wrong with that. I understand. It can be a lot of work. It can be a lot of work. Especially if you do video recording and then you have to edit the videos and then upload them, and yeah, it can be a lot. Sandra, can you type in chat? Terry, yes. I wonder if it's not going to work, Lucas, because she's been in chat. So whenever somebody says their name, it'll kick the link. Okay. Gotcha. Ah, so I see what you're having. Life changed this morning. Yeah, Terry, it does that. Hopefully everything will work out okay with your bestie. We're all kind of thinking of you and of her, and I'm sure everything is going to be fine. Just got to stay positive, think positively, and I'm sure everything will work out okay. Oh, asked her to type. Gotcha. Okay. So what'll happen then is so as people say hi and good morning to them and things like that. Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. It'll give them a little shout out. Love that. Hopefully it doesn't get too annoying. Yeah, Terry's having a little bit of a rough morning. Her bestie is getting some medical attention. And she's waiting to hear how things are going. So we're all thinking about her. And hopefully that it turns out to be nothing too serious. That's the word I was looking for. Serious, sorry. Last one. Yes, Terry says she's just trying to be patient and wait. Her daughter and her son are there with her, and that, they're the ones that need to be there right now. I mean, Terry wants to be there, but right now she doesn't need to be there. And we've all been through that. We've all had those situations where a close friend or family is in a medical situation, and we want to be there, but we know the best place for us to be is out of the way. Out of the way until they tell us it's okay to be there. So we've all been there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these pressed up. We should have enough time to get this one block together. So, but as you guys can see, paper piecing, it's a very, very slow process. It does make for some amazingly beautiful quilts. But it's a bit of a slow process. I think these cake recipes are a fantastic way for someone to kind of learn the process a little bit. This one doesn't use, you don't need any rulers of any kind because you're trimming all of the pieces based on what it's telling you to do. Whereas a traditional paper piecing, you usually need an add an eighth or add a quarter ruler. I've done a couple of projects in the past where we've had to do that with them. If you guys look back on my block party videos, which we're going to pick that up again next year too, but my block party videos, we did some paper piecing there, and we did a butterfly as well. I think we actually did the butterfly with Sandra on Kathy's channel. Those needed the add a quarter ruler that we needed. We were able to use those. Yes. Terry says FPP are really fun to do. You're still sewing, it just adds another twist to it. And I feel like the designs are much more intricate too because of the way you're doing it. But it does take a little bit to kind of wrap your brain around the process because it's kind of backwards from what you think it should be. You know, the way you want to do it is a little bit different than the way it needs to be done. And so it does take a little bit of a challenge. Yes, Sandra, the butterflies. I have one or two butterflies. I think I still have the pieces to do the third one. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't know what I did with the butterflies. They used to be hanging on the wall here. I think they're tucked back there somewhere. But yeah, Sandra showed us a free pattern on Kathy's channel a while ago of how to do the butterflies. They were used charm squares, so you did 5-inch squares for those. Yes, the butterflies. Everybody's talking about the butterflies. Yeah, Sandra taught us how to do the butterflies. Yep. I was gracious. I was grateful enough that I was actually able to join them live for that one. That one was a lot of fun on Kathy's channel. I got to join her live stream. Hopefully one day when my schedule allows it, I'll be able to join another one. It's so much fun on those channels. So much fun. It's like a quilt retreat every time you go because she usually has so many fun guests and they have a fun project they're working on. Yeah, lots of fun. Alright, so now we're just trimming off the dog ears again. Terry says, I made 4. Just 4. Yeah, they're a lot of work. They're so tiny. Like, the pieces were so tiny. I think I made 2. I cut all the fabric pieces to make 3. And I cut out because it's 3, the pattern was 3 different butterflies, if I remember correctly. And I cut them all out to make the third one. And I think it's, excuse me, I think it's up there somewhere. But I know I made 2 of them. The hummingbird was just as fun. Oh, well, I haven't not tried the hummingbird. The problem I have is that their pieces were so tiny. I needed something a little bit bigger. It wasn't hard to do. I will say that. It was not hard. But they were really tiny. there's that. Oh, got some more pieces left. Got some more pieces to do. I gotta tell you guys, I'm loving this chair. You notice that I have not had to wiggle out of this chair to fix the pad underneath my bum yet. It's so nice. Really comfortable so far. The ultimate test will be when I'm in here working on something off camera, because then I'm usually in here for a lot longer period of time. That will be the ultimate test to see how long I'm comfortable in this chair. It was kind of pricey. Well, I mean, it wasn't pricey for me because I had a connection, but I mean, it was a $300 chair from Uline. It wasn't a cheap chair, but I'm hoping that it turns out to be better. I feel like it's a better construction than the one I had for sure. The one I had before, which I think Mr. Wizard's using it right now. It was one of those COVID specials. We bought it during COVID. It was like one of the only ones they had left. You know, and you kind of went with it. I have a gaming chair and I fight with it sometimes. Yeah, Terry, see, I have a wide bottom. Like, it's not, you know, a secret that I'm a little wide in some places. And so I have a really wide bottom. So I needed a chair that had a nice wide bottom on it. And so this one does. It's got a really nice wide bottom on it. Like, I got plenty of room here between my I mean, these could probably even be moved in a little bit if I wanted to. But I got plenty of room here. My arms still move. They don't swivel like the other one, but that's okay. I didn't really need that. But they still move up and down. The chair moves up and down. Right now I have it locked, so it doesn't lean back, but it can lean back if I wanted it to. Like, yeah, it does exactly what I need it to, and it's bouncy. It's a little bouncy. So I'm hoping that I end up liking it a lot more. All right, so let's go ahead and get this last block put together. So this one's pretty easy. It's kind of opposites, like that, and then candy canes. These are such cute candy canes. Like that. Candy canes. Like that. That one. That one. That one. That. So it's like, right. That looks right there. Black, 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 black. Okay, there we go. Yes, Patty, I have to agree with you 100%. I do believe that a good chair really makes a difference. 100%. You know, the other chair wasn't terrible, but the bottom of it was mesh. It wasn't padded, so I had to buy a separate pad for it, and it was just such a pain. Like, it kept sliding on me. I probably needed to get myself a little bit of a bigger one, and, you know, it's just, it was a pain. And I think that the hydraulic mechanism on them that makes it stay up and down, I think it might have been broken. Because I felt like I would put it up, and then it would slowly just slide itself back down throughout the day. So I feel like maybe it might have been broken. Maybe it was just me bouncing around on it. I don't know. I don't sit still, so, which you'd think that I'd be thinner since I don't sit still, but it's not really, I guess, the way it works. I don't know. But so far, I'm really enjoying this chair. I mean, I've only had it for, you know, what, an hour or two now. But I know that chairs can be expensive. I know that. A good chair is expensive. But there is actually, this is one of those cases where you get what you pay for. It truly is one of those instances where you get what you pay for. So, grab that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That came out of nowhere. The chair pads move, the wheels get stuck, the one that with the hydraulic that shrinks downer and downer. LOL. Yeah, 100%. Like, 100%. I agree with you. And you know, chairs don't last forever. So I got that one during COVID, like 2019, 2020. So it's 4 or 5 years old now. I wasn't really easy on it. Sinking chair. Old and comfortable though. Well, as long as it's comfortable, that's all that matters. Mine was not terribly comfortable. This one's a little bit hard right now because it's brand new. It'll wear in, it's fine. The only thing I really wish I could do was lift up this back piece a little bit. But it doesn't lift, so that is a little bit of a bummer. But so I just need to get myself a little pad to go, you know, some lumbar support, I think. But otherwise it should be fine. So far, so good. Alright, so let's do this. We gotta flip them over now like that. Sew them up together. Go. Joyce Hernandez is taking off. Joyce, thank you so much for joining us today. I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. We will be back next week, next Sunday. I hope that you can join us then. And if you weren't able to join us yesterday for our After Dark edition, I encourage you to go check out the replay from that. I had to make myself a little bit of a road trip while on the camera. Which was funny because I watched the replay yesterday just to kind of see what was happening. And I noticed one of my puppies came in here after I left. She came in and she was walking around. That was pretty funny. Thought that was kind of cute. She took over the channel for me. And Mr. Wizard, he was at a club meeting and he's like, "Aw, Mr. Wizard could have helped you out there. You know, he could have entertained everybody while you were waiting." And I said, "Yeah, you could have. Maybe some other time." Carrie says, "I'm using my chair from college in the 90s. Probably should get a new one next year. LOL." Wow. If it's comfortable and it's working for you, then there's probably no reason to get a new one. You know, if it's comfortable, it's working for you, you don't have any back pain when you're sitting in it, or your legs aren't falling asleep or anything like that, then there's probably no need to change it. Probably no need to worry about it. Sandra says, "I used to drive to my local library for Wi-Fi and the seat outside and do the live with Kathy." Wow. Sit outside and do my live with Kathy. Wow. Alright, so there's our first piece there. There's one of them. Here's our other one. Let's go ahead and get those ironed up together. Not ironed up, sewn up together. There we go. There's one. Let's get our other one sewn up. There we go. Alright, now we just gotta iron out these two halves and put the whole thing together. Let's go ahead and iron those out. Carrie says, I do need to change the chair. I just don't remember it until I'm sitting in it. You and I, we are cut from the same cloth. I've been telling you guys all year that I wanted to change out this chair. So we're cut from the same cloth. Like, I totally understand what you're talking about there. Because until I'm doing it, or it's sitting in front of me, staring at me, I forget that it's there. Brian46 says, looking for mom. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I'm following there. Looking for your mom or somebody else? Did I miss something? Not sure what that was about. It's probably something that I missed, I'm sure. Terry says sometimes she feels like she's sitting on the floor. I can understand that. So Mr. Wizard took my old chair to see if it's something that he might like. Because he had a chair of himself. Again, another COVID special. But his didn't have any arms on it. And so he... And I tried to sit in his chair with no arms on it. And I couldn't handle it. Like, I made a comment to him the other day. I said, if I don't have arms, I'm just going to fall right off the chair. Like, I move around so much and I wiggle so much. I'm just going to slide right off the chair onto the floor. So it's probably best that I keep my arms on my chairs. And so he was going to give that a go and see if that's something that he wants to do with his. But yeah, he thought that was funny that I told him I would just end up on the floor. But so he's given my old chair a test drive to see how he likes it with the arms. And then maybe we'll get him one of these as well. Because, you know, he spends a lot of time in his chair as well. So it would make sense for him to kind of be... See, this is not going the way I wanted it to go. It's not gonna lay right. This is not gonna lay right, but that's right. Kathy says she wants to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Well, thank you, Kathy, very much for that. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. I hope that Santa brings you everything you've asked for. Yes, I like the arms and I like when you can adjust them. Yeah, me too. Me too. I like to lean on them. I do a lot of leaning. Yes, I did see the snail trail block pattern. Looking at it from Mom. Yes, 100%. I did see that. thank you very much for passing that along. I have not passed it along to her yet, but it does look like it would be something quick and easy and simple for her to put together. So we'll definitely incorporate that into something. So thank you for passing that along. And just a word of encouragement to everyone else. If you have a pattern that you'd like to see us put together on the channel, something that is easy for newer beginners, somebody like Lucas or like Mama Joyce to put together, please share them with me on my email page. Just email them over to me and we'll take a look at them. I'm always looking for new pattern ideas and things like that. But here you go, folks. This is, there we go. This is our next block that we put together. It's a little bit hard to see because these black fabrics are kind of contrasting with each other. So it's a little bit more difficult to see than normal. But if I pull this one out, which is the exact same pattern, you'll be able to see it a little bit better and understand what we were trying to do there. So there you go. So today we were able to put 3 blocks together. As you can see, the paper piecing project does go together very, very slowly. But it's a lot of fun, and like I said, it's a great way for you to fill your time with something productive while you're sitting watching TV or things like that. Thank you, Terry. She says it's so pretty. Sandra's saying Merry Christmas to everybody. Yes, absolutely. I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. And if you're not able to join us next week, then a very Happy New Year. We will be here next week for sure. Let me just flip the camera back over here. Give me a second. There we go. You can see my pretty tree again. But anyway, friends, thank you so much for joining us today. I had a lot of fun. I'm a little upset that we weren't as far along as I thought we were. I thought we were going to be putting these blocks together to actually make the table runner. So I do apologize for that. I will probably change the thumbnail on this video later on because I feel like it's a little misleading and I don't like to do that. That's not who I am. That's not what I try to do. So things like that. But anyway. All right, well, that is it for today, folks. I'm going to go ahead and take off. Like I said, Mr. Wizard and I have plans this afternoon, so I've actually got to get going. I got to change clothes and get ready to go to that. But otherwise, I want to wish you guys a very, very safe and Merry Christmas. And we will see you all again next week. I can't wait to hear about everybody's holiday and what Santa has brought you. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram so that you guys can share with me what you guys are working on and share with each other as well. I encourage that type of communication as much as possible. Thank you to my moderators. You guys are amazing. You do a fantastic job every single time you're here, and I really appreciate everything that you do and every which way that you help me out. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Just add the words "in progress." There you go. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's really all I need to do, but I do want to fix it. So anyway, have a great rest of your day, everyone, and I will see you again very, very soon. Don't forget to check out our other content creators' links, especially Terry. She's been posting a lot of videos, and Kathy. They're my moderators. Make sure you go over and check them out. But there you go. All right, guys. Have a great one, and I'll see you next weekend. Bye for now.